Welcome back, guys. Going to be jumping right into the knife round between Dreamscape and Cloud9. This is, well, an elimination match. The loser of this goes home already after just 2 maps. Pretty rough, but such is life sometimes. Cloud9 certainly will be the favourites. Myself, Vince, and Dust will be bringing you the action. How's it going, man?
Going pretty good, and again, it's fair play to give some credit here to Dreamscape. I mean, they did qualify for this event by beating some of the other kind of bigger name teams from the Asian region that we're used to seeing, like Tyloo and Vici Gaming. So certainly props to them just for making it out here from Singapore and representing for their region. But obviously, they had a tough outing on Mirage against SK Gaming. I think they got beat like 16-3 or 4 or something like that. It was definitely very one-sided. Also feels like Mirage has been a tough play for them even before SK. They had a really rough loss to Chiefs recently as well online. So kind of curious to see what they do here. For Cloud9, though, Mirage is always kind of a comfort for them with the core of their lineup. But again, lots has changed since then.
Nasbatarek was a monster in the last game we casted. I think he dropped 32 kills before we didn't see the last round, which obviously was kind of sad times. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, but he was really solid, actually. He was by far the best player. I think that he was on 30-32. Nearest player was on like 14 on the team. So definitely proving that he's here to impress today. Rush had a bit more of a rough game, but let's be honest, Dreamscape coming into this, probably the weakest team at the whole event. Some maybe argue that Renegades are down there as well, but I don't think anyone expects Dreamscape to realistically do much in this event.
No, I mean, this is kind of just them getting a learning experience, I think. But if they could pull off something a little bit tricky, that would be cool. I haven't really ever seen them play, so I'm kind of interested to see what they bring to the table of Mirage. This is already kind of an interesting pistol round to just see a lot of stacking and underpass, smoking off window, using that to bypass Skadoodle and actually attack A from connector.
Automatic with USB taps. He's going to be looking for another couple. Let's go down to impression. That bomb still hasn't been planted, although it should do momentarily. They're not entirely sure as to where the players are. Now Stewie is coming up from the backside of ramp and drops the bomb onto the site. Not planted. And any hopes and dreams of that being planted have pretty much been dashed. The two T's are separated from one another. Impression's just out on the staircase, and Benkai is trying to do what he can to find himself a couple of heads to tap onto, but Stewie's going to pick up a second, and Skadoodle comes through with the final nail in the coffin. Cloud9 off the winning ways.
Yeah, again, kind of a unique pistol round strat. I feel like most pistol rounds on this map, I just see teams kind of like smoke jungle and stairs and try to attack CT spawn and plant, or, you know, maybe smoke CT, try to attack jungle and plant. But that's how they did something that maybe you see more often on force buys or gun rounds, which is just like heavy underpass into connector. Just didn't really put enough pressure up ramp or palace to really pull automatic off, though, so he was able to pop off a couple of free kills. Good play from Cloud9 all around, and now B.O.O.T will look to push in through Palace and just try to flood the site. But so far, all the kills going to C9.
Decent shot by Tommy. Could actually get him a bomb plant. Incendiary is a bit too deep onto the firebox. It's not just going to be a bomb plant, but actually this is getting a bit spicier than anticipated. It should still go the way of Cloud9, but a bomb plant and 3 kills. Not bad at all. They did invest into this round, but bomb plant will keep the economy ticking over somewhat. Cloud9 do take a 2-0, but that's a few more players than they're expecting to lose, I'm sure.
Yeah, kind of crazy that Tommy somehow just avoided that incendiary with 2 HP and winds up with a second kill before the round ends. And yeah, they do bring over some extra cash by getting that bomb plant. They can't capitalize on it just yet. They did have to invest a bit to get it down, so they will take a full save here, save for a few P250s, 1 deagle, and a couple of flashbangs, but only Tommy has armor. It looks like we are seeing maybe a bit of a fake thrown today, some utility here by Benkai, but everyone's really focused on B apartments. In the meantime, Stu pushes middle and gets the opening frag. But again, they're trying to go for this heavy underpass play, but Cloud9 having none of it. They get run through the blender here. And this is pretty much all she wrote. Cloud9 will easily go up 3-0 in this round, didn't even really lose any HP.
Yeah, going for such a heavy stack underpass is such a risk for that very reason. Normally you're going to have a player maybe peek out of mid or the bulk of the aggression already be on A, but all stacking together, you could see, I mean, I'm sure eyes lighted up as soon as you looked down into underpass and saw 3 people pushing it. Just fish in a barrel, basically, at that stage. So 4 kills in 3 rounds. Dreamscape do have a buy. It's full AKs, decent helping of nades as well. I'm really curious to see what they have in store, because I'm going to be completely honest, Dust. I'm not sure about you, but I've seen very little of these guys.
I haven't seen anything from them. I'm just kind of hearing reports from Bleh, who's kind of the Asian expert. As Tarek's going to pick up on Tommy again, trying to make that underpass play where they're trying to go for some type of A split. But with this mid control, Cloud9 are going to be able to so quickly rotate and have 4 players in A right as this utility comes in. So it's going to be a tough battle here for Dreamscape. But they get the smoke wall up and they will be able to start fighting into stairs and jungle.
Splashski down to 1 health. The dream is real. A bomb has been planted. But with all these nades, looks like this is a foregone conclusion. Tarek's going to pop himself out of jungle. Splashski is going to get checked. It's a position a lot of players will hide in. Benkai has 4 players to deal with. Down he'll go. At least Dreamscape are getting some success in terms of bomb plants, but you're just seeing that Cloud9 are just far superior when it comes to these retakes. They're losing too many players before the bomb gets planted as well, Dreamscape.
Yeah, you're also, you know, the cons of doing that type of play is that you're also giving up so much map control, and you don't really have any information. So that allows, you know, your flank to be exposed, like you saw Stewie doing there on A ramp, and you're also not baiting out any utility from Cloud9. So that means when they go for that retake, part of the reason why it's so successful is because they have so many nades left over to flush you out of position. And so, yeah, with that, C9 are just building up a big lead.
Full-on Deagles, equalizing the economy somewhat. Impression is going to get the first tap though onto Tarek. It's a pretty big player to take down as well. And the second, Benkai finds automatic. Both players very low, 5 and below health. But at least Dreamscape have something to work with here. They can try and isolate the CTs from another, spread them thin, and see if they can maybe get another pick and get a bomb plant. More than they would have been anticipating at the start of this round. This is their best chance so far, Dust. They've got to capitalize on this one. Any chance at breaking some American hearts, they've got to start winning rounds like this.
Awkward Stewie just kind of walks right past the Pals player. You kind of wonder if that's going to play a factor into the round. But yeah, just really countering that cat aggression well. And now even Skadoodle's out thanks to Tommy. And so this is a wide open B bomb site. Rush is just getting here with the M4, but he's going to have so much to deal with. And actually they're transitioning maybe into underpass to go, hey, Stewie is still here. He might get behind Moxie, but Moxie still hasn't been spotted yet by Stewie.
Now Stewie's position is very much known. And there's the Deagle. Splashski. And he's going to put another player down. Rush from the backside. This will be one hell of an introduction to the Cloud9 team for Rush if he can pull off this clutch. Won't be happening. Moxie from the back of Triple Box will lay him down. And, well, Dreamscape have done it. Their first round comes off the back of the Eagles.
Yeah, again, just countering C9's aggression off Cat very well. And then I think just the fact that Splash got so deep into the A-bomb site, since Stewie pushed A ramp, he just didn't really have any idea. He was fighting the connector push as best he could, but kind of got blindsided there in the end. And so that is the first round for Dreamscape. As you noted, the AWP will be in the hands of Splash this time. Moxie lurking over towards A, Benkai top middle, but a lot of focus on trying to get a pick over here at B. And he lands the headshot on the Tarek, so well done, sir.
Not bad at all. Again, opening pick goes their way. Now Automatic's going to try and traipse himself onto the B site, able to get one from bench, but gets traded. And Moxie's also going to find himself Stewie, so this is getting interesting. Rushing Kitchen, not going to have any help from Skadoodle for the time being, and walks out to the open, and Splashski takes him down. All right then, Dreamscape. 2 rounds in a row, and with a heavy investment from Cloud9. If Skadoodle saves, there may be some options, but judging from Stewie's 250k, Rush's 750, Dreamscape are able to claw themselves back into this and make a real go of it.
Yeah, again, it's just kind of them not really hesitating. Once they get a pick, they just really follow it up. And I mean, the B-bomb site was pretty vulnerable after they got that pick onto Tarek. I mean, they had a player in market, sure, but the rotation wasn't really there just yet. And I mean, just really good play for Dreamscape. They're starting to pave the way a little bit here, starting to find a couple of key rounds. And as you noted, C9's money is not in the best of places, so we're not going to really be able to do much about it this round.
Could you just imagine the scenes if Cloud9 got knocked out by Dreamscape? I'm not sure I even would want to go on Reddit after that. But it's a possibility. If Cloud9 lose this game, they're sent packing. Dreamscape. 2 rounds on the board. Cloud9 into an eco. Some players as low as USPs, Scoodle and Stewie. Five-player stack on 8. Rolling the dice. May as well in rounds like this. Dreamscape not getting carried away too much just yet. Pretty sure Automatic just caught a glimpse of the shoulder of Benkai, who stood in Palace at this stage. Molly's going to force out Automatic from window back towards the jungle area. This is allowing mid control to start to come into fruition. You don't have to worry about a pick from anybody. This is solid play from Dreamscape. They're not walking into the trap just yet, but Automatic's going to get himself a Deagle headshot rush from the backside. And of course, as soon as I say it's solid work, all the kills are going the way of Cloud9. Even a USP frag onto Tommy, who was full-on kitted up. Deary me. This would be a horrible way for Dreamscape to be dethroned from that slight streak. You still have Moxie and Splashkey on AKs, though, in 30 seconds. I actually have a smoke to use at this stage. They're going to have to come out with flashes and a Molotov. Maybe Moxie's going to see if he can bank the Molotov into shadows. Splashkey looks away. The worst possible moment. That Molotov is going to force players out into the open. Maybe Moxie can clean up, but he's got 10 seconds to do it. And he's going to be sprayed down from multiple angles. 6 health, make that 0. And Cloud9, with 2 USPs, a Deagle, and a P250 pretty much, have just won the round. That is embarrassing.
Yeah, that's definitely a tough pill to swallow. I mean, you're sitting here, you're the underdog, you're finally starting to make some headway in the half, and then you lose a round like that, one that you really should be collecting. That may come back to haunt them in a big way. That could have been their big chance to start running the board and getting back into this. Now all of a sudden, C9, they collect, you know, some free AKs, and they start getting right back on track now. Now, granted, there is the fear of the reset. Dreamscape certainly could come right back swinging, put C9 in the dumps when it comes to what they can afford, and it looks like they're going to try their best A execute to see if that can be the catalyst to do so. Tommy again going to try to creep underpass, but I mean, Stewie is just locked on in this position, and they have full mid control, so again, the rotate's always going to be there, and there's no utility really baited out.
Already on A though, fair play for Dreamscape. Spoiled for choices and pressure to throw a player in connector and one jungle to rush through the smoke in the head. The standard spot to plant, and he is going to make the most of that. Splashkey now just hops on top of it and plants from where it was left off earlier. But again, Cloud9 on retakes have just been so solid in this game. It's hard to see how Dreamscape hold on this time around. One Tetris, one in ramp. Just going to be mollying and smoking off each angle. That Molotov is going to start to sting on Splashkey. He has to jump up, but in doing so, Rush will claim the kill for himself, and Cloud9 will claim their 6th round. Back to business for the NA team.
Yeah, so again, this is the second time that Dreamscape's gone for that same smoke wall setup on the A bomb side. It's a little bit different than some other ones that you see, but I mean, the bottom line is that they're leaving jungle and stairs wide open, and again, they don't really have any middle presence, so Cloud9 are able just to capture mid for themselves, and then they're just a quick walk away to connector to be right there in the A-bomb site. And the thing is, Dreamscape, they're going to have to start winning those battles in jungle and stairs if they're going to keep doing that smoke wall. Like, you're leaving it open, so you're allowing C9 to take duels with you in that location, and if you're not able to kind of play that out better and win some of those fights, you're in for a bad time. And again, the utility is also a factor. You're not baiting any nades out of C9, so they have, you know, all the nades in the world to retake with. Like you saw there in the end, they had the you know, Molotov to flush out Tetris and be able to start working their way back into A. So yeah, the execute's great for bomb plants, but your post-plant scenario is going to be so difficult when you're not controlling any areas of the A bomb site.
So one of Dreamscape's rounds actually came off the back of a very similar buy of this with the Eagles. They went mid and they just got picks on short and window. This time Skadoodle is up to the task with his AWP. So a much better start. Stewie's going to play close range and connector, just holding with the smoke. He's going to land the frag onto Moxie. Pushes through the smoke, Stewie. One too many times perhaps, but it doesn't really matter that much because Dreamscape have been laid down elsewhere. Tommy 29 health. AK in his hands. He's going to get a second kill. That was lightning fast on Tarek. I mean, he has been up there a couple of times, so the pre-fire probably on the cards, but still, Cloud9 7-2 in the lead.
And this time around, there's no shenanigans from B.O.O.T. Don't really get close, but they will be back onto a full buy this time. AKs across the board. And I'm curious to see what they go to, because so far we've really seen is heavy executes, right? Like they go for a pick at B, then quickly follow it up for a rush onto the site. We've seen a lot of these A execute smoke wall type things, with Tommy usually kind of lurking underpass the connector. This time Tommy will be with them at A. But look at this, they're just stacking 4 players on the A bomb site. Like Cloud9 feared nothing else. They just let Skadoodle, you know, play B alone, and they're just all here. Hello.
Yeah, why not? They're in confident form right now. And it's just going to be a complete demolition. Skadoodle's basically up in B-Apps with an AWP. They have, I think it was Automatic who was in connector looking over the smoke to make sure they didn't go short so Skadoodle could focus on apps, and everyone else was just, alright, let's button down on A, let's just get this done. And unless Dreamscape start faking or trying to do something different, like two-pronged attacks, then why would Cloud9 change anything up?
Yeah, I mean, it's just another execute, a little bit of a different smoke variation, but again, there's no diversity in their play, so Cloud9 can feel pretty confident kind of just, you know, gambling some extra players towards one site. And again, because they keep maintaining mid-presence, they have the freedom to do a lot of things. I don't think Dreamscape's challenge mid really wants this entire game, except for that one Deagle round that they got. And now they're trying to do it a little bit in this one, but it's been traded off.
Skadoodle has just been powerhouse so far. Only has 6 kills, but they all seem to have been pretty impactful frags. Tarek close range AK. Going to clear out B-Apps. There's still another player going to be coming at him, which will be Tommy with the PT-50. He's going to catch Tarek as he switches to his nades. Still gets a lot of damage down onto Tommy. 12 health left. Make that none. Skadoodle is maybe going to be on for a 3k this round. Moxie going to go peeking with his Deagle. Does have control of the bomb as well. Could have just gone for the outright plant. Of course, he's not entirely sure as to where the CTs are. He's got Skadoodle, who's coming up round the back. In fact, it's Rush, pardon me. Skadoodle's still in the kitchen. Flicks across to Moxie. And that's going to be yet another one.
Surprised he didn't see him when he first jumped through. I don't know if it was black bars or if he just wasn't paying attention, but nonetheless, it didn't really play a factor in the round. The reaction was on point. Cloud9 are now up 9-2. They had the double AWP set up in play. B.O.O.T. back onto a full buy with AKs and utility and head armor. Kind of wondering if they're going to start changing something up, start doing something a little bit different. You see Splash throwing a bit of a different smoke here over towards the A-bomb site, but Stu's still finding that frag. I actually like that smoke that Splash throws. It looks like the smoke you throw from box's middle. Like, you know, the one that you line up at the tree. But he's throwing it from T-spawn, so that's kind of interesting, but it doesn't really matter in this round, does it?
Yeah, you can have nice flashy smokes, but ultimately, if you're getting pounded, it doesn't really make a difference, unfortunately. Splashkey is at least going to get a kill for himself. While he actually bounces on Moxie's head. So he's gone down to 51. I go for that plant, just holding on for dear life. Flashbangs raining in. Splashkey with another kill, but he's down to 16. Collectively 67 health for Dreamscape. Ooh. 150. Good shot to Rush. Splashkey's got some decent aim on him for sure. And there is no incendiaries left. This is where you'd like to throw one towards the firebox or Tetris. We've already seen Cloud9 do that on a retake. Splashkey's going to go down. It's all on Moxie. Skadoodle with his AWP coming round the corner, lands it onto Moxie, and it's going to be double digits for Cloud9. Nice try. Much better than their previous attempts from Dreamscape. But again, the individual effort, the individual prowess from Cloud9 is just too much to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, of the 10 rounds they've lost, they've gotten 4 bomb plants in them. So again, getting onto the site hasn't been the problem. It's just the numbers they have left over. And then, just like I said, just conceding map control in the process has been kind of a big factor. Almost get that one done. Splash was definitely making some efforts there, but just not quite enough. And so C9 are up 10-2. And now, maybe B.O.O.T. think of a fake this time. They have the 3 players lining up that same smoke wall they've done twice now on the A-bomb site, but the bomb's actually in B apartment, so maybe now they're trying, finally, like, have done that conditioning and are trying to see if they can't make a fake work, as Tommy does go out in these smokes. He's looking for fights in the A-bomb site.
So this is something that we haven't seen that much from Dreamscape yet, and that's an attempt at a fake. But again, Cloud9, because they have automatic pushing up mid, they actually don't respect this at all. They don't need to. When you have mid control, it allows you to pierce through both sides of Dreamscape if they are going for this fake and catch them in transition. And it's not like they've had any kind of penetration through onto the B site either. They're still stuck in B-apps. So that fake has just been a complete failure.
Yeah, on top of that, you have to get some kills in the A-bomb site to really sell it. Like, there's no reason for Tarek to rotate if there's no one dying on the A-bomb site.
Exactly.
So that, combined with everything you just said, really just kind of spells disaster for the fake. And now they just have to try to brute force their way in with 3.
Now, they're kind of forced into actually just aggressing at this stage because the time, because the fact they've expended so much on the A site. It's like, well, we may as well stick with the fake. But if they walk out slow, Tarek has the perfect angle just to pick one player off. If they slow peek this, they try and shoulder peek it, they're dead. And you can see already Cloud9 realize what's coming up. They're going to throw a molly and then probably a smoke afterwards. From automatic, it's going to make sure that it gives them the advantage with the positions that they're currently in. Out comes Impression, down it goes, bomb dropped, round is over. 11-2's the score. It's just Dreamscape don't know it yet.
And they will take a timeout here because they really only have like one really good buy left, to be honest. I mean, yeah, they're at max loss bonus, but you know, you see in this round, you know, 3 other guys are under $4,000, and so it's really thinking about, okay, you know, we want to go for some type of AWP ever again. If so, yeah, Moxie can drop one this round, but it's really going to set them back going forward if we don't retain it. And then you just have to kind of consider, well, we're going to be lighter on utility if we're buying AK armor on guys like Splash and Impression. So I think they're just trying to think, okay, what can we buy here where we have a chance, but we don't hamstring ourselves in the next round? Like, we're still going to get a full buy in the last. And so this is what they come up with. It's buy down to just north of $1,000. Leave Tommy with $2,600 to have a little bit more to work with and to see what we can do with what we can afford, basically.
Well then, that flash hit the terrorists and didn't affect any of the CTs. A little bit awkward. Yeah, just walking backwards and Skadoodle's like, cheers mates, I'll pick those 2 frags up every day of the week. Thanks for that. And just like that, the round is
There's no worse feeling than realizing your window smoke didn't work.
Yep. I mean, nothing really worked for Dreamscape there. The flashes, the smoke.
Yeah. That's why a lot of teams don't even go for window smokes. I mean, really no one does, actually. Everyone just kind of smokes cat and then gets the boxes and then smokes window. All the ones that you have to throw from spawn are like these weird jump throw ones that aren't really consistent or take up a lot of time to throw, which kills your pacing on getting in the middle.
And especially when you're on like a budget buy as well, where you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. You need to make sure every nade works, you know. You can't afford to have that one derpy smoke. There isn't going to be a backup, basically. There's no backup shoot. You're going to have to free fall into concrete. And that's pretty much what's happening for Dreamscape right now. They're being splattered.
Really painted a beautiful picture with that whole description. What can you say? Just have a way with words, Vince?
It's just been one of those games, hasn't it, mate? Like, we thought this would be one-sided, and it has been so far, to be fair. Cloud9 have looked good. I mean, you can see the kill difference in their team right now. 15 on Rush, bottom's Tarek on 10. Everyone's doing great. Not a single player for Dreamscape's over 8 kills. And, well, Stewie's just rushed straight up mid.
Yeah, they try to go for the classic smoke play that time, but they get pushed and they get robbed, and now they have to just rush into A with the remaining forces, and on Amatic, there's nothing phasing him on these stairs. He's just able to freely peek out and win fights.
At last alive in the half, but he is going to go the same way. Stewie ends on 15-6. Cloud9 cruising to a victory, and there was a little hiccup there when it was 4-2. There's a kind of a dodgy situation on that, the 7th round where Dreamscape looked like they could win that too. You know, at 4-3, this could have been a completely different ball game. They could have broke Cloud9's economy. We could have been into a pretty interesting half, maybe like a 9-6, even 8-7 scoreline. But since that couple of round wins, I mean, Cloud9 just breezed them away. It was just far too easy.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't want to beat a dead horse. I think we pretty much covered it. It just seemed like they didn't really have enough map presence. They were constantly just allowing Cloud9 mid control, which just let them rotate so quickly and so freely. They even felt comfortable stacking 4 players A at times, which when you're running almost pure A executes and that's happening, you're really not going to have a good time. Even when they tried to sell fakes, they just didn't create enough pressure to really pull it off. And in the end, Cloud9 were just superior really across the board. I mean, at times you saw some cool little, tricky plays from B.O.O.T to get plants, and you definitely saw sometimes their aim was showcased, but Cloud9 were just across the board better. And now they're up 13-2.
When your opponent's lowest fragger still has more kills than anyone on your team, it's a bad day. Tarek's 10, top players 8 for Dreamscape. And it's not like Tarek's been playing bad, it's just hasn't been required to land frags ultimately. He was a monster in their last game. Even though they lost, I think he dropped 30 against North and it was 16-10. But it's just been a case of locking it down. Let's see if they can get this done. Tommy with a cheeky boost up is going to land one, but instantly found out. It is a gimmicky position, especially if you get rushed. It's very unlikely you get more than one from that. And now with the bomb planted, Dreamscape have to try and funnel their way back onto the site. They do have a kit in the hands of Impression. Rush at the balcony. Or the bench, pardon me. Scoodle is going to land the headshot onto Moxie. And with a player coming around the backside, which is going to be automatic, that's pretty much the round done. Bench has been spotted in B-Apps. And Cloud9 cruising to a 14-2 lead.
Yeah, there really hasn't been much resistance here from the team of Singapore. Again, props to them to even make it to this tournament over the likes of Tyloo and Vici and start kind of breaking out as maybe another team from the Asian region to keep an eye on outside of the Chinese squads, but they just haven't had the best today. They've played Mirage twice against some of the best teams the Americas region has to offer, and in each match, at least the SK one, they only found 2 rounds, and this one, it may be pretty much the same story. I have to see as they are stacking that A bomb site, but it looks like C9 may just bypass it up the catwalk here. Start prodding into ladder room in B.
Wait, that can't be real. The Renegades VP match is currently 10-0 to Renegades. That's another elimination game as well. That can't be real. That's after they got battered 16-4 to Na'Vi. My god. It is real. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
about to say, I can't confirm it is real.
Jesus, VP. So, to put that in context, right now, they're 26-4 in terms of their rounds. And it's Renegades.
One of them is against Renegade, yeah.
Like, what? Anyway, back into this game. Dreamscape have just Tommy left. Maybe he can pull off some madness. Maybe we can get hype about something in this game. Because so far it has been, as the scoreline suggests, a complete stomp. That's no disrespect to Dreamscape, they've just been outclassed. And it is now 15-2. 3 players and 17 kills. Stewie's on 16. Everybody is just having their way. 10-0. Oh my god. I am actually amazed by that.
Yeah, that would be really tough. I mean, Renegades isn't that much of anything, but beating VP that badly would be pretty crazy stuff. But let's focus back in on this game, because right now it is 15-2 in favor of C9. Just 1 round away from moving on tomorrow, and B.O.O.T Dreamscape 1 round away from enjoying the rest of Malmö from the stands. They've already had a couple of players picked off here, and Skadoodle seems to be putting on the finishing touches of this, and there you have it. C9 up 16-2. It's been a tough day at the office for the team of Singapore. Just a couple of rounds apiece each map against, again, some of the best teams from the Americas here on Mirage, and their event is unfortunately over.
You've got to feel bad, like, traveling that far from Singapore to Sweden to get banged out 0-2, both pretty one-sided games. I think they lost 16-2 against SK as well, right?
Yeah.
So
I will say that
rough.
apparently they had a big boot camp before this event where they got to do a lot of practice in Europe against some of the top European teams. So at the very least, I hope that they gained some valuable experience from being out here between the boot camp and between the 2 matches they played today. Again, everyone has to kind of take those first steps, man. Everyone has to kind of just, like, feel things out and just get used to playing against these types of teams on that type of environment. So I don't want to knock them too much. I mean, again, this is their first outing, really, right? Every other time we've had Asian teams involved in these events, it's either been, you know, Tyloo or Vici, or, you know, mostly Chinese teams, right? Like every now we had that one, you know, Korean team, MVP Project, come out to an event, but it pretty much has been, you know, either China or the Aussies, you know, out of the Asian region when you think about Asian minors and things of that nature that play in these types of events. So again, hopefully they have just kind of gained something from this as far as experience goes, lessons learned to apply for the next time.
As you say, so like experience, they probably don't get a chance to play against these caliber of teams that often, so make the most of it, enjoy the experience. But ultimately, they are done. They have been eliminated from DreamHack Malmö. Cloud9 progressed through, pretty comfortable in the end. And guys, again, if you aren't already watching it, then head across to the mainstream. Renegades and VP are currently playing. It is 10-1 as it stands to Renegades, and that is an elimination match too. So the loser of that is out. VP, very real chance of them going out of this event early on and in pretty brutal fashion. So jump across there. We'll be back in a little bit. I think the next game is scheduled to start in about 15 minutes. That's going to be Fnatic and Envious. I think that's what we're casting. Let me just double check that. Yeah, we are casting Fnatic Envious. So yep, come back later on after you've done watching the VP match, guys, and we'll see you in a few moments.